What's going on, Cory Gang Fish Fam? Welcome back to your favorite Monday show here at Fish for Thought. I'm your host Chris, and we're about to get it started again with some fish tank review. New aquarium dad with orange cat. Can't believe I'm seeing this, but for the first time we are witnessing hostile architecture, what Google describes as defensive or exclusionary design. The same technology that's meant to keep people on the streets from loitering is keeping their orange cat from destroying and vandalizing and loitering this aquarium. That is absolutely hilarious, and the ingenuity and the extreme lengths of how much you went to protect this aquarium from the orange cat tells me that this orange cat, this bro, is not beating the allegations. Orange cats are absolutely bonkers for no reason at all. Scientists have been baffled for years with three questions. Why do mosquitoes exist? Why is Jesus so handsome? And how can an orange cat be so diabolical? We have no other choices but to take action to protect things that are dear and near to us instead of trying to change the orange cat. If this is what it takes to have two hobbies in the pet keeping world, then so be it. The tank itself is pretty basic. There's no hardscape. There's a hefty sponge filter. I'm not sure what it's going to be stocked with. Hopefully not goldfish. And there's just some live plants in there. Not a bad start. What you can perhaps do is drape some pothos all over that hostile architecture and see if that makes your fish corner look a little more decent. Me trying to learn about aquascaping, Iwagumi, Dutch style, Monte Carlo, CO2 injection. Oh shit, it's too much. I can't even read that fast. That is exactly how you will feel if you try to take on all of this new stuff you've never even heard of at once. All of these styles are amazing, and it's super cool to do them, especially if you are allowed to have more than one tank, because that opens up your creativity. Like, you can finish one tank in this style and then do another tank in another. Iwagumi in this corner, Dutch style right beside it. Some with CO2, some with tannins, botanicals, black water. It's what makes this hobby so amazing. However, personally, if I ever had to choose just one style of aquarium, it is definitely a wild style, Walstad method inspired, sort of let it grow wild, but still pleasing to the eye type of tank. And that's what I have here. That's what I've been effing with for a long time. No water changes, by the way. It's like an ecosystem fish tank. And I have a full course on my Patreon. It is somewhat of a new perk for my patrons to have, along with access to the Discord server filled with 3,000 plus fish keepers talking around the world about our beautiful hobby. You can submit your fish tanks or fish tank review there, and some fish memes as well that I sometimes feature on this series, and enter amazing aquatic giveaways as well. All that and more, and for supporting this channel if this channel gave you any enjoyment at all through the years. Thank you so much. My patrons on Patreon are the reason that Fish for Thought has been going strong through the years. Ethan Koner sent in their 20-gallon long. It is their first tank that they've ever made. It's stocked with albino and emerald green Corydoras, some Culiloches, Tetras, and a Crebensis. Pretty nice stocking and choices for a 20-gallon long especially. I would say it's stocked pretty well. Everyone's very active and respecting each other's boundaries. The Corys are just everywhere. A pretty thick substrate bed of aqua soil, cocoa stone and various wood used in hardscape, corkscrew valve, maybe some elodea, water sprite, Anubias, cryptocorin. Can't go wrong with any of that. Can't wait to see all this grow out for you. Off to a great start, 3.5 out of 5. Keep it up. Update and a bonus x-ray picture. Holy cow, what am I looking at here, bro? Quick recap. My goldfish has been sick since early June. Y'all helped me determine that the problem was not her tank size or water quality. So apparently the goldfish has been eating sand, eating their substrate, and it's impacted them. Those two white things are blockages in the bowel. This is not good. Goldfish with blockages is a very quick ticking time bomb. They need to eat and poo. They don't have a stomach. I hate to ask, but how much does an x-ray and a vet trip for a fish cost? About $250. We were very worried it would be more. Honestly, I did imagine a bit more than $250, and I'll bet it's very hard to do this in a healthy way for the fish and properly. We've seen lucky fish like this with owners that are just spectacular. Among the 0.01%, probably even less. Alanis Below sent in their 30-gallon community tank. They have only fertilized this tank with root tabs, nothing else. There has never been any liquid fertilizer, and it looks really great. Healthy cardinals and black neons, Siamese algae eater, large sword, beautiful clump of Anubias, perfect hardscape, background plants of, I don't know what that is. Someone help me in the comments. Sand substrate, very cute. 4.59 out of 5, keep it up. Help. Is like the perfect word to describe this. I don't really know why. So this is a perfect picture to portray some problems you might have with setting up a new tank, especially if it's like this Mopani wood or spider wood as well. New tanks will have bacteria blooms. Sometimes those bacteria blooms will show up as clouds, and people will buy all sorts of products that are gonna fix it, that promise to fix these bacterial blooms and keep your water clear. Those are all BS, trying to steal your hard-earned cash that you should be trading for rocks and sticks instead. Sometimes bacterial blooms for new fish tanks, instead of just free floating in the column of the water, they have bacterial blooms on your wood or on your other hardscape. This is notorious and it happens so often to new wood. Well, at all, some fish and other critters actually like munching on this, but the best way to do this is just to wait like a day or two or maybe a week if you're lazy. Do a water change and suck up, stir up some of that gunk. They come off pretty easy and they don't return. 0 out of 10 on the threat level scale. Mikey D sent in their 75-gallon community tank. It's their first tank that they have live plants in. And you have really succeeded here, Mikey D, on your first try. It is black backdrop showing off the amazing green hues of the plants. Dwarf sash trying to carpet. I do like the composition of your woodwork. Interesting stocking. Fat Siamese algae eater. I'm not sure what that fish is. Is that a rainbow? I think that's a rainbow. Some white skirts, little platy, other tetras, a gourami. A little bit sparse in the stocking component. You have a serpe tetra or a few of them. This is edging towards Noah's Ark syndrome a little bit for me. Too many species in one tank. A lot of people like that, but it's so enjoyable to have a species tank. If you haven't done it before, you're really missing out. That's what I challenge you with next time, Mikey D. Choose a species that you really like and just make a whole fish tank for those species. 4.55 out of 5. Really impressive for a first time planted tank. Blizzard the Betta's pond is so beautiful at this time of day. I reckon it's beautiful at any time of the day. A whole pond dedicated to one betta fish is actually a dream come true. I hope it's not outside though, and if it is, I hope the temperatures are conducive to keeping a betta fish outdoors. It's also kind of a risk if you don't cover this thing at night if it's outside, because any sort of raccoon can get it during the daytime when unattended. Any sort of fish-eating bird can also get it. Other than that, this betta is living the dream. You know how that goldfish is like 0.0001% of the population of how lucky fish can become? This betta fish is right up there with it. A tannin-filled, naturalistic environment, gentle flowing waters, pond with a lot of gallons to swim in by itself, immersed plant growth, sucking up excess nutrients. It's a 5 out of 5 for me, SpongeBob. Snake Kitty Fishy can't make up their mind, but they did make this fantastic 40-gallon. What am I looking at here? Shubunking goldfish. There's no live plants here, but it's heavily filtered. It's usually hit with a 40 to 50% water change until the tank gets upgraded. So they are waiting for a tank upgrade, which is really good because this tank looks kind of small. You're not trying to get best of both worlds. It is what it is. It's a statement piece of art. Black and white with the red highlights, highlighting the healthy goldfish for now. Heavily filtered with a lot of water change. It's good, especially for holding over until they get an upgrade to their tank. Unrated, but you're doing everything perfectly. 5 out of 5. Did a major cutback. It was getting wild in there. No. Oh, this is what I hate to see.
Look how they mess with my boy.
Just like how I don't like haircuts in real life. I don't like haircuts for my tanks unless, you know, it's tasteful. Yeah, I guess it's still a beautiful tank. It's still tasteful, but I really like the first one way better. A lot of y'all are trimming when there's absolutely no need to trim unless you're trying to get some extra plant material to start your next scape. You don't need to be trimming. Daddy Chris likes that bush. What the f? Water bear / tardigrade in my tank, which is freaking amazing. If you guys don't know about the tardigrade or the water bear, because it kind of looks like a bear, however it has like 6 legs and it's not really visible to the naked eye unless you have a superb vision. Most of the time you see it under the microscope. This animal, this critter, has gone to space and back and survived the journey. It also survives just million-year droughts. I don't know about a million years, but like 40 years in the desert, like it's Jesus bug, basically. Probably have had it sometime in the past or even now. Not to be confused with springtails, not to be confused with those. Those are kind of similar, but also not the same thing. You know, I would really advise everyone to get some sort of microscope thing from Amazon. You can get this one, but you can also get like 10x or 40x zoom macro lens for your phone. You're gonna see a brand new world, like Aladdin style, of your fish tank that you look at every day. The microscopic little things in there, and it doesn't cost much. That's the whole thing. Very low barrier of entry for this. There's no reason not to get something like it. This guy discovered they got water bears. To my knowledge, water bears are pretty fine and dandy for your fish tank. It's not unhealthy or a indicator of unhealthiness at all. They exist in sort of wet, marshy areas in the wild anyway. Relaxing time. Man, the power of a good stream of light where there is darkness in your fish tank, I'm telling you. People should also be utilizing this technique more. Dark room, introduce light little by little. It's magical. You will see your fish tank and your aquascape, your own aquascape that you've made, in a totally different light that you didn't even know existed. And just from manipulating the light. Kid you not. Try to just move your light right now in different ways and you will see different highlights. This is just next level. Deliberate and intentional highlighting of their scape and their fish. Aside from my fish eating it, why does my Anacharis look so bad? For those of you who don't know, and I think the majority of you do know, Anacharis or elodea, it's not really meant to be planted. In fact, most plants that don't have existing roots yet, if you plant that portion, it's gonna rot most of the time. So a lot of people like to float plants that don't have a root system, a robust root system. Even cryptocorin or even Amazon sword, Vallisneria. Once they grow a bit of a root system, then you can plunge it into your substrate. Same thing with elodea, except it's even worse because the roots, they come from random places. It doesn't even have to be the bottom. There's no bottom to this plant or top. Not really. Best thing to do is leave it floating, or like a Nubius or Java fern, kind of wedge it or attach it somehow onto some sort of hardscape. Don't use aquarium safe super glue or anything like that though, it will die. So it's not your fish eating it that's making it look bad. It looks bad, so your fish is eating it. Fish and invertebrates in our tank will take advantage of decaying matter. Shrimp or snails that normally are advised not to be eating your plants, your live plants, and are safe for live plants, they will turn on that live plant if that live plant shows disease or decaying. There's something yummy about that garbage. Golden hour on the Guppy tank. Holy cow, another stunner. This episode, man, I don't even know. When's the last time you heard that engine rev outside your window and thought, holy cow, it must be a very hot guy driving that. I'm so impressed. I would love to meet that guy. No. You're just thinking smallest dick in the world. Middle name is Microsoft. Anyway, back to this beauty. Holy cow, my dude. You've created like James Cameron's avatar somehow. That's insane. I love the masterful placement of the wood pieces. It's literally a forest, like a flash flood in a Brazilian rainforest. That's actually like a flash swamp ecosystem, and I'm in love with it. It's also golden hour in the Guppy tank, so the sunlight is shining just right. And I love that as a Guppy tank, it's not taking itself too seriously. Even though the Aquascape is a serious contender for a 5 out of 5. So this is a 5-year-old Walstad Corydora's tank. My kids do a good job decorating the top by pulling and trying lots of different things from backyard gardens. Man, this stuff keeps the hobby exciting for me. You just look for things in your back garden and try to make it work in your tank. And that is part of why this hobby is so endearing. You never know what's gonna work. There's, you know, data out there, but not on everything and not on every condition for everything. Not even close. This hobby is so far from black and white. You can do a billion things a different way and everyone has a different take, and I love this take. However, I'm gonna guess there's not a lot that can survive in here for like more than a week. It's probably more like Ikebana style where there is placement of flowers and cool plants, but then it starts to fade. But this is like a subcategory of a hobby on its own in the fish keeping hobby, and I love it. And what do you mean a Corydora's tank? Bro, a Walstad species only of Corydoras, you are some type of genius. You live in the flow state, I'll have to bet. It is likely that my Amano shrimp jumped out of the tank and crawled 20 feet, or that it jumped out of my tub. A little confusing here, but I think this person is wondering if their water change sucked up the Amano shrimp into the tub and it jumped out of the tub or the tank. The truth of the matter is Amano shrimp can walk for a long distance. Don't ask me how I know that. They are so hardy that they can survive out of water for a while. Not more than a day, but like a few hours, and it could drag its body across your wooden floor if you are not home. So chances are it probably did jump out of your tank because it could easily walk up to that distance. If they got sucked up by the siphon might be clogged before it could go all the way through, unless it's a very, very young and small Amano. Please tell me this can't be real. In Japan, old phone booths are turned into aquariums filled with tropical fish. Not the first time I've seen this, but it looks like it's making a comeback, this trend, and maybe they're making more. I'm just wondering, how could they, the nation that birthed ADA, how could Takashi Amano's soul let this happen? Bro is tossing and turning in his watery grave right now. What did you guys do to him? Part of Japan's patriotic spirit should be just not allowing bad fish tanks and mandating that this type of stocking does not exist. It's a beautiful idea. Look, if your country is overrun with ADA products and next level aquascaping people, techniques, inspiration from just the landscape and scenery that exists naturally, how could this be existing. Mr. Amano died too soon. If he was alive, this would not be happening. I wonder why. POV 4 years ago, I tried to surprise my son with a little fish tank. Fail. Man, that is pretty funny. Funny enough for at least 3 crying, laughing emojis in my opinion. You see that? What part of that is not humorous? This man must be Conan O'Brien. He's so funny. Hey guys, welcome back to the end of the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed that, but probably not the last post because what the hell. Before I let you guys go, please answer this week's Katwa. What is one activity that you're trying to do more, such as a hobby or something that's good for you? Let me know in the comments below. It's about to be an inspirational comment section, hopefully. I'll get it started. Me, I want to poo better. What does that mean? Specifically, whatever you want it to mean. If you enjoyed this episode, please smash that. If you enjoyed this episode, please smash that like button. There'll be more videos to come, and don't forget to get your hands wet. Tetra, we in a spot, coming in hot. Ventral fin dot, acclimate that. With my shoal at, cure my fin rot from Cariciformes to Paracharodon. Hold on, there's not another fish that you can wish for. Live fam says I finna one. I finna gone 3 days without furt. I'm an addict, like fanatic. I'm a baddest, no tabs, only dirt. My Cory gang so loyal, black Tetra go skirt. We came to play, came to silence.